What is happening, guys? Welcome back to DXB Crypto. Hope you are all doing well, and apologies for the lateness. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about. Glad you could make it to the stream. Of course, a lot of people are unhappy with crypto. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people right now are afraid. But do not be afraid, because there's money to be made. And for that reason, we are, like Jeremy said, let's get this fire ass alpha. We're going to do that, Jeremy. Hope you're doing well, my brother. And we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the Fed. We're going to talk about why you need to remain calm. And to be honest, the last post I made in the Discord was buy. My last video was buy. And within a short space of time, everything has almost recovered. But there is a but, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Cocoro. We're going to talk about JoJo. We want to talk about Lofi. We want to talk about the Sui network. We're going to do a lot. So stick around, subscribe to the channel. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Caveman can probably teach me how to do this, but we should have a subscribers only type of comments, because we want to get rid of the any bots. Right now we've got a decent amount of people coming in, and let's go, guys. Let's go. People need to understand. Of course, that is beautiful. And again, big shout out to all of you, every single one of you in the live stream. I want to big all of you up. You got Diamond there, T13. You got everyone there. You got Caveman. You got Loki there. You got Patriot, of course, as always. You got Michael there. We've got two Michaels as well. Mr. Gerard in the building, of course. Shout out to every single one of you, brothers. And of course, we're live on TikTok. We're live on X. And of course, we're live on YouTube. So without further ado, guys, let's just jump into what's happening in this great market. And of course, the best way to start would probably be, let's just check some alpha here. I am sure you are aware of the situation with the Fed. Again, in addition to that, we also know Eve Whale, in particular, a wallet that I've been tracking, removed about $20 million of Ethereum of Binance. And why are whales doing that? What's going on? We're supposed to be collapsing, capitulating. And there are many reasons as to why whale money flows and goes in different directions. At the end of the day, my biggest thing is we must remain hopeful in this market. Not only hopeful, but we must be able to buy good altcoins that can absolutely rocket ship for us. And a lot of people know meme coins, despite what anyone says, meme coins are such a badass to have in your wallet, to have in your portfolio. And of course, you have seen some of the most amazing meme coin movements in the last 12 months. Okay? Make no mistake, guys, we are going to make money. Hasn't been an easy road, but we are going to make money. Now, if you're not holding right now, if you're not holding the following meme coins I'm going to speak about, then unfortunately, you are not participating in the game as you should. Okay? And what up, Dex? Hope you're well. Cave is killing me, man. But you know what? To be honest with you, first of all, in this stream, I want to big up Cave, because Cave he is the cycle success. And there are many reasons as to why people make it, and there are many reasons as to why people don't actually make it all that well in crypto. And I'm telling you right now, the right attitude is what you need without being absolutely emotional. And of course, holding your alts to a better day. I think that's all of us could do well from that. Bitcoin dominance. Let me just go to the price of Bitcoin. Okay, beautiful chart, guys. Beautiful chart. So we kind of we had a situation, right, with Bitcoin. So let's go to the daily. Let's go to better charts here. Okay. 4 hours. Okay, this is good. So, guys, all those boxes you see there, right? These are institutional buy orders, right? Now, if Bitcoin goes below even $110,000, I don't believe the situation changes for the altcoins. And hear me out, because there are two things we can do. Okay. But the first is to understand the global situation with the macro. If you can't understand the macro right now, then you are just when alt season type of mode all the time. And what that does is it doesn't allow you to participate in the market in a manner that allows you to stay patient long enough or to live long enough to see your fruits bear labor. Now, I have mentioned, of course, the community has done tremendously well from JoJo. It's actually up on the New York Times Square. JoJo on Solana. And if you haven't done a clean 10x on that, don't worry, because there's still time. There's plenty of time. So I want to talk about the meme coins, but before we do that, let me just give you some important macro lesson. Because what you need to see with a macro setup is this. So what I've done, okay, and I'm glad that I can share this report with you all, is I have linked Trump's Trump's ability to make money in crypto with his impatience of wanting to pump the markets. Okay, so that's something that is absolutely crucial. If you can't understand why Donald Trump is going to pump the markets, then you really can't understand the macro picture at hand. And hear me out. This is not something that people should take lightly because of him, because of his kids, because of the whole shebang. So you have to understand he's made anything between 20 to 40% of his entire net worth in crypto in the past 12 months. I repeat, Trump has made 20 to 40% of his entire net worth in crypto. Now, let me explain that to you further. And smash a like, by the way, guys, because I'm going to try and I don't know how to turn this around, but I'll make an effort in doing so. Okay. So Donald Trump is a degen. And Donald Trump is going to pump these markets. Now, in order for me to share my macro report, again, big up to the community because, again, I take an example of what Cave is saying right there. And it is absolutely important to understand why the macro picture is a wake-up call for us. So this month's report, and I know a lot of you want to get straight down to the altcoins, and I appreciate that, but it's not really just altcoins we need to look at. We need to see the bigger picture. Now, I can tell you, okay, let's go to CoinGecko for a moment. Tell you right now, I'll take an example of the first kind of meme coin in the building, and I'll tell you about the macro so you understand why we are the way we are. And this is Cocoro on ETH. And we'll talk about JoJo, like I said. We'll talk about Lofi on Sui and why these are such a good. Sounds like DXP is breaking shit over here. Is the sound good, guys? Give me a thumbs up if the sound is good. We will break down exactly what Cave is saying, guys. See if we're good with the sound. Sound check. By the way, anyway, I've just been listening to the new Sounds Perfect. Thank you, brother. We will proceed. So this is Cocoro and ETH, right? And it's up today, 8% versus BTC, 7.3% against Ethereum. But actually, the story is actually more complicated than that. So market cap right now is 12 million, right? This could genuinely go to $1.2 billion. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that, brother. This could absolutely go rocket, even though the price has remained rather stagnant. It has been kind of choppy. But who would have thought two days ago or 24 hours ago, Cocoro was going to make this kind of pump? So you do need something on Ethereum that will go absolutely bananas. Now, for me, the reason I'm starting with Cocoro, and I'll go back to the macro in a minute, so you'll understand why buying altcoins cheap, number one. Number two, why buying assets before they pump is the only way to make money, and why you have to be patient. Your 20x, your 40x, whatever it might be that you're in the market for, cannot just come in isolation, right? It cannot just happen in isolation. You have to have liquidity in the market. And this is why I believe if you just take away your emotions and when the markets are red, you buy the cryptos you want, you are going to be sitting on generational money, freedom money, quit your job money, right? Some people say, oh, I haven't taken profit. And of course, there is a real danger that these things do roll back. They go to zero. No one's denying that. But if I was you, buying Cocoro today, right, is going to set you up nicely. If it comes back below 10 million, I'm going to buy some more. It's not really complicated, right? It's not really complicated because we can see, if you were with me in April, if anyone in my community, forget 2023, 2024 tokens or coins, but if we were together in April this year, you probably would have killed it on Toshi, on Lofi, on many, many other DCA entry buys. So understanding the worst enemy that you have is yourself is going to make you that money. Now, of course, we wanted to get an HTX listing for Cocoro, but we haven't managed to do that yet. However, the signs have been there. So if you don't want to be scammed and you want to buy something that is naturally off the shelf and that had a lot of what I call the early Jeets out, then Cocoro on ETH is a very, very good bet. So that would be kind of like the first meme coin to start off with, because of the fact that it hasn't got the listing yet that it needs. And then once it does, you're going to be thanking me. You're going to say, yo, we survived that together and I've made decent money. That's all I want to hear from you. Like, I just want you, just like I want for myself, to make some good money. But selling coins as soon as they go down 5%, instead of adding to them because they are a conviction play, it's not the way to do it. Okay? So let's have a look at Cocoro. Okay? And let's say this got to the market cap of Nero. Okay? So if Cocoro gets to the market cap of Nero as it is right now, there goes your 9 to 10x. We're not asking for much at all. This is not asking for much. And that's easy money. Put $1,000 in, get back $9,000, $10,000. Happy days, take the $10,000, roll it into something else. And that's if you just want a 10x. But we want to try and get Nero's all-time high. Okay. So there are different Neros. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the right one. So this is the one that got to 200 million. So we're not even pushing the boundaries here. This wasn't the one that was listed on Binance. Okay. So if Cocoro, can Cocoro do 21x? And the answer for me is yes. Because Nero, in its different forms, has gone on to do $268 million. Now, let's see if we want to get to the other Nero, right? Because we want to make sure whatever we're looking at can potentially do some decent numbers. So let's have a look at the one that got listed by Binance. Now, the story was, for those of you who don't actually remember, the story was in June 2024, Ethereum was around $3,900 to $4,000, $3,800, sorry. Cocoro got listed on HTX, and 4 months later, it got listed on Binance because they understand, they look for communities. They look for communities. They want to, they know the fanaticism of a coin like this. Now, so far, like I said, it's been a choppy market. It's been a difficult market. But I do see if you buy Cocoro today, next week, when it dips below 10 million, when it goes to whatever, 15 million, if you dollar cost average, the chances are you are set for a minimum, if it gets to the current market cap of Nero of $164 million, that for you, my friend, is a fantastic 13x returns. Then the strategy, take the 13x, roll it into something else. If you want to hold out for more, which I believe it can actually go to its all-time high. And these numbers, I'm not making these numbers up. Got listed on HTX, went over 100 million very quickly. 4 months later, lands on Binance. Binance absolutely do the magic. And again, the time will be different. Why is the time different? Because this time round, the macro picture is macro's broken, basically. So, the Fed's going to pivot. They're going to print more money, hyperinflation or whatever. Some people are scared of that. But essentially, you just have to buy and forget. You've survived the worst possible period twice. You've had 2 bear markets within a bull market. You've had 2 bear markets within a traditional 4-year cycle, right? So that's very important. You have to understand nothing can break you now. You have to look at yourself and say to yourself, I understand there are social pressures. I understand those of you who obviously share your crypto investment strategies with your loved ones. I wouldn't do that. We talked about that before. This is a silent game. You don't shout about your victories. You don't, you take your defeats silently and you build and you stay strong. So yeah, don't promise yourself a Lambo just yet. Coincidentally, bro said, the Nero that didn't made it with the same team as Manu. Oh, wow. Intense PvP. Yeah, I'll look at that comment. And absolutely, Circle, learn from history. But to really, really understand why you should hold something is the potential, right? We're all buying potential. All meme coins are absolute CAC, basically. But is who's got the community, who's shouting the loudest, who's posting, who's active, what teams are not dumping, and all of those. So I do believe Cocoro for Nero is a go. Now, what the real job numbers coming out, Pal can't keep, of course, this stuff hidden. And I understand totally what you mean. And I will go back to the macro to fully actually break it down for people tonight. Because, again, people are missing out the point of, the cycle, this is, Cave is one of the one of the more reliable sources when it comes to the macro picture, because he's very stoic, understands strategically. And again, big up to our community. Jeremy said it is a lot for a damn rookie like me. We're not even in the playoffs yet. Absolutely, bro. But you are absolutely a legend, and you do understand and bring a lot of these, discussions to us. And again, like Cave said, we got you, because if I go back, and I'll come back to the comparisons for the crypto projects, let's take a Cocoro now, and let's go back to our macro picture. So in this month's report, I call it the wake up report, or the wake up call. We're standing on the edge of something we've not seen in decades. The Federal Reserve is cracking from the inside. Global trade is shifting, and the market is whispering the same thing over and over. What is that same thing, you may ask? A storm is coming. So for the first time in the macro cycle, we are going to see a real friggin' storm. And let me take you through some steps, because if you understand this by now, then you know exactly why I'm staying patient. This is the most overused word that I've had used throughout this cycle. You'd understand why I'm staying patient. You'd understand why I'm accumulating. And I'm telling you, don't panic. Position smartly. A once in a 30-year event in the history of the Fed has just happened. So when people ask me when Lambo, I can confidently start coming out with a bit more precision and tell you, guys, they're going to print this money. This money has to go somewhere. Crypto is a very good place to keep the US dollar very relevant. So on the 30th of July, the Fed decided to keep the rates. We know that. But you think it's business as usual? Of course, absolutely not. This is a bomb going off. And why is that? So for the first time since 93, two governors openly, keyword there, revolted against Powell's decision. Now, this is not your average normal business. It's not a minor situation. And this is a sign of cracks forming within. And the smart thing that Trump has done is he planted a seed of discontent, and it worked. You've got all this tension going on in the world's largest economy. You got a guy shooting from the hip who, if I remind you, who made 20 to 40% of his entire income, his entire net worth was made in a 12-month period, liquid cash. So he understands these markets because he's never made money like this in such a short space of time. Notoriously, Donald Trump was one of these billionaires who's always been kind of dodgy with tax evasions and whatever. So he understands the importance of this market. So that's one. Number two, the last time this happened, of course, the magic number you need is 54 days. Back in 93, what the Fed did was 54 days after the revolt, the Fed came out and went aggressive, cutting rates. We're now moving towards the traditional, what I would say, kind of Q3, Q4 in a macro bull cycle. This is the traditional time when Bitcoin and crypto generally runs, of course, to top. Now, history doesn't repeat perfectly, but it often rhymes. We know it's rhyming, and it's screaming for liquidity on the horizon. Now, going back to Cocoro or Lofi or Toshi or JoJo or Beam or Casper, whatever the coins, Sui, altcoins then need this liquidity to get into like crazy 500% gains for large caps, 1,000%, whatever. So let's continue with this. Now, Powell, of course, struggles. Powell struggles with jobs, inflation. Of course, Trump in the shadow is always the case. And he's caught between a rock and a hard place. The economy is slowing. Check. jobs are weakening, and the jobs are going to get worse. The jobs are going to get worse in the winter months, and inflation is absolutely not budging. So instead of cutting rates, he held firm. But at this same time, you know, the debacle of the job revision. Now, Trump has been absolutely relentless. He calls Powell the worst Fed chair ever. He pushes the board to override him and do a hostile takeover, even walks into the Fed offices to flex pressure. And why is he doing all of this? Again, remember, he's made up to 40% of his wealth in the last 12 months from crypto. Why? Because Trump knows what we know. We know rate cuts fuel the growth, absolutely, and the growth fuels the market. Now, a lot of people don't understand the current climate that we've been in the last kind of 4 years. Topping was for Fed buying assets. We probably reached the top in 2022, but we've had the bear market because we went into a quantitative tightening environment. And here's the brutal truth. So there is no pumps because there's no money. So when Lambo, there's never been, it's just been PvP market, shit coins, memes, pumped up fun, but we've not really seen a rising tide that could lift the ships. Now we're still in QT, guys. Surprise, surprise, a liquidity freeze. Less money in circulation, higher borrowing costs. Now you got to think about homeowners as well. You got to think about mortgages. You got to think about the whole entire economic stack. Investors are avoiding the risk. For all coins to fly, and this is important, you need to pivot to what's called quantitative easing, or QE. And when QE hits, you get this money flooding back, you get the risk appetite, and you get this massive altcoin season that we've all been desperate for, thinking that charts just go up in isolations, and they don't. And this is the switch that's about to go up. So remember what I said at the top? I said 54 days from the last Fed tensions. 54 days. Right. So September, November, December this year, September, October, November this year, possibly January 26th, we could see the markets really, really start taking off. Now, of course, while the Fed drama unfolds, Trump is reshaping the battlefield with tariffs as high as 50%. Now, most people, I'm not a fan of Trump, to be honest, as a person, but I understand what he's doing. The man came into crypto. His campaign was behind fundraising to Kamala Harris. He then starts going to the Bitcoin conference, makes billions through his meme coins, sets up World Liberty Financial, understands crypto is the future. You can't ignore it. Technology will be here. And of course, even if all the old guys get rid of, under Biden, we had this absolutely stupid restrictive policy where they never understood. Bunch of old men trying to dictate new technology. And of course, because those bunch of old men were trying to invent or suppress this new form of payment, moving away from SWIFT, everything is going to run on the blockchain. So what's going to happen? The tariffs, the drama continues, or like Wu-Tang say, the saga continues. The result, global companies are moving into the US. They have to dodge the fees. And the reason I'm telling you this is liquidity and infrastructure has to go back to American soil at some point if you want to do business there. And I'll tell you why they want to do business in America. Pressure builds on the Fed to support this shift with lower rates. When the biggest consumers in the world, the Americans, flex their muscles, it sends shockwaves everywhere, including crypto. Now, why are the Americans the biggest flexers? Because according to research, just 2023 alone, $8.8 trillion were spent by American consumers. $8.8 trillion. So companies need to compromise, countries need to compromise rather, in order to ensure that they can do business in the US. So there is method to the madness. Whether that comes off, of course, there's challenge, Canada, Mexico. You've got, of course, the EU signing a huge deal with Trump. Nobody talks about that as they should, because that's really, really bullish. The EU just laid down and said, you know what, F it, screw it. We're going to accept whatever this guy's coming in. So why haven't we pumped yet? You feel it, I feel it, right? So the market feels like it's holding its breath. That's because it's the calm before the storm. Bitcoin moves slightly, alts bleed quietly, everyone is impatient. I want my Lamborghini. Knowing that buying shit assets today is going to be the difference. Buying something that's at 400K market cap is going to be absolutely, it's going to pay off, right? Because there's going to be irrational money printed. So what's coming? So you need to watch the market now. If you've been on the sidelines before, you need to be in the market now. I'm telling you, do not do disservice to yourself. I don't care how you feel emotionally for the last 4 years if it didn't work out for you. But I'm telling you now, even if we get a massive crash or a dip or whatever, this next 4 critical months are going to set you up. And you don't need anyone to thank for that. You're going to be saying to yourself, you know what? I went all out. I lost a lot. Perhaps some people have lost everything, picked up the pieces. And this is the only industry where you can turn money in a quick time, right? So there are two critical data reports sandwiched between now and the next Fed meeting. One we've just had, and look what it did. So these are 2 job reports, okay, 1 down, 1 to go, and 2 CPI reports. And that's going to determine how badly this, revision. And when you consider July's job could be revised down, right? When you consider that, then you start understanding, holy crap, the economy is broken. And why is that good for risk assets? Well, if it's shit, that goes back as far as 2020, because the performance is that bad, then they're going to have to print their way out of it. Trade policies will be resolved, of course. Like I said, the reason why people just don't think about tariffs, even if you pass it on to the American consumer, you have to understand that the Americans are the largest spenders globally, and every country in the world makes money from participating in the American market. If you want to do business in America, you're going to have to either take a hit or negotiate your way so that you could participate in that 8.8 trillion consumer market. So liquidity signal is our, we are at the final hour of taking a liquidity signal. So a lot of eyes will be on the Fed. Mark my words, the crack in the Fed is the first sign. So what do we learn from this, guys? We learn the Fed is divided. We know that the Fed is absolutely divided. This is not just another August where you can just, see how things are. This is literally liquidity's drying. Rate cuts will be the next wave. Patient isn't weakness. It's absolute power. So now that I've given you a breakdown of what this is why I believe that you start looking for fully diluted projects, you start looking for altcoins, and I do believe one of the beneficiaries of this entire madness will be Ethereum. And if Ethereum absolutely rockets, there's your first token right there, guys. There is your first token right there, and this will ride the wave, in my opinion. And we could be looking at substantial gains up to a 91x. Doesn't have to do that for all of us, but it can do that potentially. Maybe you don't want to sit around till you get to the top, but that is good enough for me. That is good enough for me to be able to walk away with life-changing money based on the entrance that we've made into Cocoro, sub $10 million. Okay, so that's the first coin. The second coin I want to talk about is JoJo. Now, JoJo, if you know, so now that you understand the macro, now that you understand what the hell's been happening, JoJo came out with this. JoJo was absolutely, incredible on Times Square. And don't forget, we entered JoJo. You can see the buy alert in our Discord. We entered JoJo at a market cap of just I believe the market cap for JoJo was around 118K. So why JoJo? Why JoJo? Apart from the fact that it is a hilarious meme. So JoJo has actually proven to be an incredible moneymaker for the community. Now, it hasn't fully, in my opinion, it has not fully, it's not been really fully realized in terms of the marketing. But to go up on Times Square at a market cap of 400K is insane. Now, for me, when I look at the JoJo chart, what I want to see is a slight patience from the current market cap to go absolutely ham based on what the team's about to do next if they continue to do this level of marketing. Right now, a lot of people took profits. Of course, it ran up to 309, nearly getting to 1 cent. Yeah. So what I would say is, for me, the cost to do this was absolutely astronomical. I mean, think about it. You're spending all that money for this to go on Times Square, and the market cap for this is 400K. Excuse me. I've been listening to the Clips' new album, so I'm a bit pumped up tonight. So let's continue. JoJo is, for me anyway, Solana has been a difficult place to go when it comes to meme coins, purely because it's just it's a place where, you know, I just kind of hate the whole idea of chasing new pumps over there. But this one is funny. It has utility. And I do have another VIP meme coin that we could potentially do numbers on. But again, 400K to 4 million, 10x, it could go to perhaps 10 million, 40 million, who knows? But this is the time when you bid on the likes of JoJo, in my opinion. And of course, if this continues to happen and the team put their money into marketing JoJo, I think it could go up there with the other what do you call meme coins that come out specifically from the bonk side of things, right? So that's JoJo right there. Now, JoJo, of course, for me at the moment is incredibly undervalued. Keep that ticker, keep that simple, and wait until JoJo really starts to take off once the marketing absolutely sits and people start clocking onto JoJo. Now, I saw a video the other day, and somebody came out. I can't remember the lady's name, but she's got the she has a what do you call it? She has a YouTube channel. I forgot her name. Anyway, and she talked about Sui, and obviously she said that Sui is a, you know, blah blah blah. But the other meme coin that I think you should look at is Lofi. Lofi could be the first $1 billion token on the Sui blockchain. And I understand things haven't really taken off like they should, but if you just think about where we've been at the all-time lows, right? Below 3 cents. I think we went to as low as, yeah, we went well under this. So I would grab me some Lofi, because I think Lofi could go to $1 billion. So Lofi could do $1 billion if obviously it continues to grow the way we think it should grow. And if we do a comparison, the thing is, it's hard to do a comparison with Lofi because you don't have a similar coin on the same chain doing crazy numbers. But if I keep Nero there, 164 million. Do you think Lofi could hit $164 million? The answer is yes, as 5.5x, very realistic. Graham said Hippie is on better exchanges and a lower market cap than Lofi. And I'll tell you why I've gone with Lofi. Very good question there. I'll tell you why I've gone with Lofi. So Lofi is very close to Mr. Labs. Of course, Hippo is also good. I think a lot of things on the entire ecosystem is very, very underrated anyway on the Sui blockchain. But I do believe Lofi is better than Hippo. Now, you could argue, and we can look at both of them, because I'm not opposed to holding more than more than one meme coin from the same chain. But Lofi getting to $1 billion is around that 30x. I mean, this was $1.1 billion, but patiently it would be around that 30x. Now, I don't recommend you hold it till 30x because we'd be on a much higher, slightly more excess than that, based on the consistent buying below $5-6 million. But I do believe that Lofi is worthy of a spot, even if it comes down a bit more. But because Graham has asked, I'm also going to show you Hippo. Okay. And that is Sudeng. So Sudeng right now used to be, at one point, the largest meme coin on the Sui blockchain. But look what's happened. And again, a lot of these charts are very similar. Okay. So Sudeng here, you said better exchanges. I mean, Lofi's on, so Gate.io is excellent for volume. HTX, of course, BitGet. And that primarily is what led to the first pump on on Hippo. And you can see a lot of it was concentrated around over here. Look, $36 million volume, 5th of November, 2024. And it topped on the 17th of November. And that power move happened in a very short space of time, within a few weeks, and money was made. Top in volume was $140 million. So I can see why you would say it's on better exchanges, and I do agree with you. But just imagine Lofi being listed on similar exchanges, right? That's gonna do very well. So Lofi, Cocoro, JoJo on a smaller scale, because it's the smallest one in terms of market cap. I think these will absolutely go rip. And of course, that is something we need to look at. Graham said, are you bullish or bearish for August price prediction of Bitcoin this month? I think that's looking at the question, and I'm not going to duck that because I have already made a video on the channel saying if we expect a correction, sub 110 Bitcoin is absolutely possible, right? It's absolutely possible. So I'm predicting we chop. Maybe we get 2 weeks of difficulties, but the market is, Friday and Saturday was absolutely brutal. The exchanges were manipulating yesterday to the point where you felt like we're heading straight into a bear market. Today, the market bounced overnight, right? So on that reason, I can't really say that Bitcoin goes to, below 100K. So I'm not bearish. I do believe we chop. I do believe either we kind of open the stock market tomorrow is going to be quite interesting for me. Stock market is going to be very, very interesting for me because at the end of the day, when the market's open tomorrow, we'll get a lot of reaction. And also as well, you have to remember markets in the East open, I think around 1 a.m. Dubai time anyway. So not just the New York session, but of course, we also look at the East. So I'm actually remaining fairly comfortable in a chop. I am prepared for 110K or below. But at the same time, I do believe after this news is absorbed, what next? Because I think the attention turns into, as per my presentation, the attention then turns into the quantitative easing end of QT, the job data. So there are a few things like that. But overall, I'm indifferent to whether Bitcoin is going to crash or whether Bitcoin is going to skyrocket, because I think that defeats the purpose. I think what we need to see is how the next 7 days, the next 14 days pan out with what we know that has come out of the bag already. But very, very good question, brother. Much appreciated. Cave said that you're correct. The M2 is rising, but the other countries are pumping it. Of course, the US have not done that yet, and that is coming soon. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think the point that you make there, again, you know, as one of the macro heads in the group, it's absolutely true. Now, of course, some people make everything about the M2 money, and that helps to a certain degree. But I think overall, the message is very clear. And once the US steps in, most people on this live actually fully understand now how at least how it works in terms of us getting money into our altcoins. Very good question. Bro said, Bale, pick up yourself. Zeus, yes. And of course, take a look at Mars, crypto community. Oh, with Mudang vibes. Okay, about Baby Hippo. So, Zeus, I know. Are you referring to the is it CBA? Zeus. Because the one that I was actually, or the one that we should have made crazy money, I've made good money on this, was Pepe's dog. And that sits at 2.8 mil. And then there's the other ones, 900K. I haven't seen the 900K one, brother. But yeah, I will check out that one too. And again, Mars. Let's see if Mars are Mars, would that be the Mars protocol or the meme coin? And I'll take a look. Zeus, 900K. I've answered that. Talked about that. Yeah, Tardy needs a quick pull up, and I will pull up. Sorry, brother, I will pull up Mars, and I will talk about and I will talk about Zeus as well. I just need to find out where to pull them. So, Tardy's volume right now, and I did actually buy Tardy. I sent out a buy alert for Tardy, and I made a decent amount, sold it. I actually swapped it for more Sui around the early days. But yeah, look at this pump here. This pump came on the 21st of May. This just lifted off. So if you look at the market cap here, probably a single buy sent this from what was it, 2 million to 13 million. So this jumped up by 10x. And right now, at $1 million, look at the trading volume. Absolutely disgraceful. So I'll be staying well away from Tardy until further notice. It's weird, isn't it? Like Tardy goes and does a 10x within 48 hours. But this is mental, because look, this is market cap, right? 2 million here, boom, 13 million, boom, gets sold out again. But look at the volume here, 28K into 35. Market cap, volume there, 0. I look at the volume here, 5K. So you need to have at least, I mean, there's never been crazy volume anyway, to be honest. 141 was the highest when it got to the ATH in market cap. So Tardy right now, Tardy does actually look fun. It's a decent meme coin. It looks funny and all of that. But yeah, right now there's no, again, you could throw, I don't know, $100, something really small. Then we look at Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo has already run, but at the same time, this is such an early, what am I talking about? This is 174K, fully diluted 185. And of course, trading volume is way better than Tardy. At least this has a 64K trading volume. I think this is the one you mean, Diamond, right? But yeah, it looks very decent. It does actually need it's on base as well. I do like base, and I wanted to talk about Russell as well. A luckiest ape on, this is super duper. Why does he give me the? It gives me another vibes. Liquidity pool, 7% treasury, 3% marketing, transparent, ready to call. What is this? Bingo game. So it's decent. I like it. Yeah, baby, I like it. Raw. It's good. It looks decent. I do like the chart. I do like the volume. And of course, that's all we know. We don't know whether this is I don't know who's behind it. Who's following this? Small community here, very, very early. And of course, you got to do some research, but it does look decent. It does look not bad at all. This constant take profit cycle elongated the cycle right next to the halving. I believe this is it, guys. I agree with you, brother. Crypto Crossroads show. Lightlink is connected to CP Group, Animoca Brands, Honda, Lamborghini, Thailand, Australia, banks, and more. Everybody, please hit the like button. Appreciate that, brother. I will have a look at Lightlink for you. Let's have a look at Light. The ticker is absolutely... the ticker is good. LL. Yeah, apologies if I make a hip-hop reference, but yeah, LL Cool J is hard as hell. Let me leave that one over there. JoJo Wasted is funny, man. So this is at a $4 million market cap. It has somebody clipped it right there. Let's go to price. Okay, so 220K trading volume. You could find this on the likes of Gate, good. Bybit, very good. Mexi, good. KuCoin, good. CoinX, and few more. So they do have, in particularly Gate. I always look at Gate. People hate Gate. I hate using Gate, but it's a volume merchant. They really do pull in some decent revenue. Volume. And then, of course, let's see what the token is, right? What the project is. Discover possible with effortless blockchain. Okay. Lightlink is an L2, right? So this is an ETH L2. We just kill some more of these. It's an Ethereum layer 2. And of course, interacts with bridge to Lightlink. Did you say, yeah, so it says now that's a Lambo moment. Discover more. Does it really power Lamborghini's fast world, giving fans a chance to own virtual Lambos and exclusive Lambos? Okay. Beacon wallet, full abstraction. What chain is it on? Contract. So it's a layer 1, is it? Sorry, L2, but built on, yeah, ETH. Okay. So far, apart from the tokenomics, good shout, man. May I have to just look at this, do some Nansen on this. Let's see what else we could do. Let's see, guys. Let's see. We need to. This is a working group right now, working session. Let's see if I can actually pull this on Nansen. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's have a look. LL transactions. Let's have a look. Token profiler. Yeah, profiler should be. Interesting. Can't really pull out the information I need. Okay, I'm gonna do. Sorry about this, everyone. Smash the like. I'm trying to do this in real time, of course. We need to do more homework on the on these tokens. But I'm not really seeing. Let's do a deep search on this. It's why, guys, you should honestly, if you're serious about crypto, you should be looking into Nansen because it's absolutely mad. So what it's doing right now is it's just looking up all the labels for the token just to see what, who's in it, what they're talking about. So I'll let that research boil. But yeah, good shout. I'll keep an eye out on this one. I'm sure the contract is linear. Looks like a linear contract anyway. Let's continue with this. By the way, Mars on Solana, 900K. Cool, brother. Let's have a look at Bruno Mars. Mars. Ah, yeah, I see it. Hippo. 900K. Okay. Massive pump here. Holy moly. Let's go to the daily. Geez, that must be a crazy well buy there. Hourly as well. Is it a CTO? Interesting. So liquidity, 126K, right? 10%. Always, that's good. Decent volume. I think the bot volume is nice. Let's have a look at their website. It'd be interesting to see if the whales in this have previously been in or around. If they've been in or around Mudeng. So what we're going to do is we'll come back to Nansen and we would do a quick search on this bad boy. So look, holders are going up. Audit score, not bad, but let's see. Yeah, it's 19 out of what? 25, I believe. Let's have a look. No, there's no issues. Ownership renounced. Owner balance. Let's have a look. The owner's balance is less than 5%. Great. Distribution. No wallet holds more than 5%. So they worked on that. Excellent. Does not exceed the token supply. Let's see what it failed on. There's nothing. So yeah, at the moment, to be honest, the holder count's gone up. So they've added an additional 800 holders. Of course, volume is down. And the volume analysis is usually you know, could be market dictated, could be their bots, whatever. But you could see here that they have a decent amount of volume drop. But I'm not surprised, you know, it's such a small market cap. And of course, right now, top P&L. Yeah, so it's not extreme. No public figures trading this. So they don't have any public figure wallets, which is also fine. And of course, fresh wallets here have bought around 50K. And what fresh wallets are, guys, is these are tokens from newly created wallets with their first transfers in the last 15 days. Guys, who's not subscribing? Who's here that's not subscribing? If you want us to continue the alpha, please hit that like or subscribe buttons. What are your thoughts on gaming coins? I've stacked enough. I love gaming as a concept. I'm a gamer, not hugely these days, but I love gaming in general. And I do believe gaming will do really well. So in gaming, the coins that I believe will do really well are, for example, if you have a bit of money to spend, you should buy some Beam at $350 million market cap. I think Beam gets to about $6 to $10 billion in market cap, right? Then you should look at the likes of Moon Tropica. If you're a degen, the car token has been doing really well. I do believe gaming will come. The only problem is with gaming, the sentiment, as they say, sometimes GTA 6 kind of like screwed up a bit for gaming coins. But there are, you know, a list of gaming projects. I like Moon Tropica, I like Beam, I like Prime, I like Mavia. Carrot is absolutely fallen off, but they've done things. So you never know what Carrot can come up with, especially with Crypto God John being in there. You know, so yeah, I would say right now gaming is fantastic. It's fantastic to buy some. Very risky, but I know, let's say when gaming eventually does take off, CDFI as well is actually very low. The lowest it's been, if you're looking for like a kind of like an ETF ticker for gaming. But I think gaming will come back. It has to come back. It's probably one of the most easiest. And again, base gaming as well. Metacade is good. So I am a massive gaming fan. You know, sometimes I stop myself from buying too many gaming coins. But yeah, Beam's good. Mavia is good. Eventually pumps. Moon Tropica is excellent. It's fully diluted. What else am I looking at? I'm also looking at the likes of Prime. You know, Prime could do well, and a few others. Nah, I wouldn't get that now. I think the disappointment for me was, I mean, listen, like I said, Manaki can absolutely do rockets, but $10 million market cap, still under 10. You know, this was friggin' hell. We kind of woke up. Trading volume 2 million. I know they sponsor Sheffield United. It looks like, you know, they've kind of fallen off a bit to where they could potentially go. But yeah, you can actually take a bet on that. But I would say there are, you know, I still back, you know, Lofi, Cocoro. I do like JoJo. You know, you can only get so many. OGs, Wojak is good. But yeah, this one can do something. You know, they've spent a lot of money if they're sponsoring football teams. So yeah. Yo, Lifanti, what is going on, my G? Hope you're well. Big up yourself, bro. Bro said, buy a Manu before too late. Good shout. Let's have a look. You know what? This is 23 million. Now, there has been smoke between Manu and, of course, Cocoro, same family. $23 million, fully diluted, 6 million in trading volume. Very, very good performance so far. It looks like it's done really, really well. And I think it did get some listings as well. We got L-Bank, KuCoin, XT and Mexi as well. But yeah, that's decent. Maniki's a great meme, brother. Yes. I mean, listen, I did have a full bag. I did a buy-led as well. Haven't seen it for a while. Zibek Bro is excellent. I always refer to a buy-led that I gave at low market caps, and it has done really, really well. So, I mean, from where I kind of bought and saw and traded, I think it's a little bit too big for me right now, but nevertheless, that utility is only going to grow. Market cap alone, I mean, look, Zebek, right now, actually, $400 million. I can't believe it. It has been an absolute runner, ranked at 179 out of all cryptos. So it's done really, really well. I mean, could this go into $1 billion? Absolutely. Could it go into multiple billions of dollars? 100%. This will run and run and run. Manu 2 and Brett, the 500 million one on ETH. You mean base? I think you mean base, bro. Brett on ETH. Ooh. Just woken up. Let's see. I think this was July 2024. And of course, pumped, came back down. $10 million market cap, decent volume. Let's have a look at the exchanges. It just looks like the Brett on base, right? By Economy and Mexi. So if ETH does well, this does well as well, I do believe. Now, the thing about Brett is, especially on base, is this guy is going to start pushing really, really hard. Now, of course, it was one of the meme coins I wanted to talk about. And this came up from absolutely nowhere, $8 million market cap. And of course, this guy attended Brian Armstrong's wedding. Now, we know the top cat on base is Toshi, right? Brian Armstrong's cat. But good old Russell could change the dynamics. Now, the listing is an interesting one. Russell, and again, you know, big shout out to you, brother, for that Brett on ETH. Russell could do well. I want to find the picture of Russell going to, you know, with Brian Armstrong on his wedding. I should have pinned it, man. If anyone from the Russell team is watching, pin that photo to the first page, man, like to the bio. Because Russell is a dog. Yeah, there you go. So this is a dog that belongs to Brian Armstrong. And of course, this is a CTO project. And when of course, when they got married, Russell was there. I think this is underrated on base, in my opinion. I do have my bag, yes, brother. And I will, man, we're up so much on it. I haven't even decided to dip into the cookie jar, as they say, brother. But I am absolutely, I think Tau is, at this stage of the cycle, I think it's a no-brainer. Don't forget, with Tau, we have the halvening event coming up in November, I believe. So I think Bitensa Tau is going to be jumping off. It's going to be going absolutely berserk. At least do a 5 to 7x from the current levels, and that would be great. That would be great, brother. Yeah, bingo's a beautiful find. Lofi bingo. Yeah, it looks very good, brother. Like, honestly, this could be another jam. Another jam that will run for sure. Because you have to understand, man, like, you know, that by capturing that photo right there and turning that into a meme, they already got, and it's a CTO as well. So, you know, it's doing actually good numbers on the Coinbase wallet. But that's a good look, man. That project should potentially, if it gets more traction now, and silently it's on Mexi under the you know, it's been watched on Mexi right now, but under the countdown, and you can't actually withdraw it from Mexi. If you're buying Russell, buy it from Uniswap. Don't buy it from the likes of Mexi. Liquidity is low. More liquidity is in the is in the what do you call in the dexes. SPX6900. Karate Combat, is that the one, brother? Okay. And Bonk on base. LL Cool J. Oh man, I'm so behind. Double L. Yeah, brothers. Lose. Yo, Victor Yokeris. Broski. That is Buteki betting you. Yo, let me tell you, look, let me set up for the football, or as my American brothers will call it, soccer. That is insane, man. Victor Yokeris is going to get at least 30 goals. And I'm so happy we can actually free Porto, free all the other teams in the Portuguese league. Let's have a look at Wizard. And did I miss anything else? SPX6900 already high, bro. Yeah, 100%. Banker, we'll look at Banker as well. Graham said, thoughts on virtual. Man, it's for me, it's a mixture of regret and, of course, I'm very happy I remember doing the swap from virtuals into Toshi quite early on. And I remember posting the virtuals protocol buy alert in our Discord below, I think it was below 3 cents. Below 3, yeah, it was ridiculous. You can go to the Discord and actually find that on the alert. That's insane. Let's have a look at Wizard, because I know my broski has got Wizard $4 million market cap. Is it on base? No, it's on Sol. And it's absolutely doing numbers. Look at this. Price discovery. And it's been out only... Actually, wait. It had a top on the daily back in... When was that? April. 20th of April, it peaked right about that 1 cent. And then look at this. Whale money coming in like mad. Whale money coming in like absolutely insane. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the chart. I like the fact that there's massive buy pressure. $4 million market cap. Right now, it is one of these meme coins, still under $5 million. And this is going to be Ozzy Osbourne's tribute. This is insane. Like, you go straight into Reddit. That is mental. But yeah, good shout, brother. Good shout on Wizard. We looked at Mars. We looked at Ross. Let's have a look. We looked at Mars. Bingo. We looked at Bingo as well. What Tau subnets are you most bullish on? Tau halving coming soon. Absolutely, brother. So the first one should be Talbot, because I gave you guys Talbot below $10 million. Way before anyone. It's one of the ones, actually, I'm quite proud of this one here. Talbot should be on. And I'm talking about way before these Alex Beckers and anyone else. It's in our Discord once again. So Talbot is up 18%. It is at a market cap of 35 million. And again, I've been buying and sending buy alerts at these lows over here and over here. So this is going to be quite essential for the Tau ecosystem. I think it's still relatively small, in my opinion, because the trading volume, it's not on any exchanges, guys. This is 100% organic trading volume from the DEXs. Got pretty decent low supply as well, up to 100 million with 80% of the tokens out. The other one that I think will do really well is, of course, the token Neural. Neural AI will grow and grow and grow. Right now, I do like what the founder said about the listings. I think the lows, again, if you remember, I was sending buy alerts here, like just DCA alerts at the lows. I think Neural AI pumps really, really hard as well. Currently sitting up $44 million market cap. The other one that I have is Sturdy Finance, because of Barry Silbert. Now, Sturdy is the subnet 10 of Bitensa Tau. Bitensa Tau, subnet 10, $7 million market cap, a 2 million, what's the volume now? Fully diluted, yeah, only 15K volume. So if you look at this, subnet token. So they have two tokens. This is the one that you can buy directly with the Tau token, price at $3. So these are the subnet tokens that I hold. I do believe Tau is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, if anybody wants to look at Tau, go to the Tau stats, guys, and you will find everything about Bitensa Tau and the projects under the subnet. They have a new dashboard as well. Yeah, so you got to sign into the new dashboard. You can get an API. You can stake Tau. So many things. So keep yourself relevant and updated. Maximus Finance is also under the Tau subnet. What do you think of Luxo? I've seen that token before, Charlie, but I haven't really got any thoughts on that. AI16Z was kind of disappointing after a FUD, but it I haven't seen it for a few months. What is it doing now? $133 million market cap. It should at some point. I mean, look, there are better AI agents, but once we're in that meta, don't forget, historically, this is mad. Like, I can't believe how, I can't remember the FUD on top of my head right now. Agentic operating system built, orchestrate and collaborate with AI agents, right? So this will come back at some point. But like I said, I have to go and refresh, and just, if anyone remembers what happened here, do let us know. That are not listed anyway. So to buy the subnet tokens, you've got to really become a Tau degen, basically. And I think I've made a video. I'll make another one. There should be a video on the channel. But I will put some Tau into a wallet, and I will probably do a video on that, Graham. But yeah, look, man, AI16Z, does anyone remember what the FUD was? Because I remember there's a reason why it absolutely tanked. Did they get banned from X as well? Yeah. Search on Twitter again. Something happened anyway, and then it just went the way it did. Let's see. Yeah, they're still not on Twitter, man. Yeah, they're still not on Twitter. Let's hashtag them and see what's happening. Let's have a look. Yeah, this one is Young Limited. This is 20. You see, back in July, data, micro cap with high upside volatility. Always like to engage the sentiment sometimes and see what's happening. Triangle, and this was the keys. Yeah, you can see here. Look. Continuation unless bulls reclaim a certain line. So at the moment, it looks like there's been a lot of there's an issue with X, to say the least. And we've got, what do we have here? Yeah. So anyway, there are. Can you look at Anon? Sure. I'll take a couple more. Still holding strong to my Cocoro. Excellent. You are a good investor. Hey, Anon, or just Anon? Now, Anon is a microcap AI agent play, I believe, on base. Is it the base one, or are you talking about the other one? Do let me know. Yeah, man, we got to hold on to dear life. Dear life, dear life. What about Momo and Doge? Yeah, I'm not in Momo. And of course, Dogecoin is big. And the official Bitcoin account has tweeted about Wizard. Yo, that's going to be so sick, bro. The market cap is still very small as well. Do you think Reploy can... What's happening with Reploy here? Yeah, I hope so, because Reploy, we still... I mean, has anyone, obviously, We've made decent money on this, and I would love for this to absolutely come back. And at $5 million market cap, I think we rode this all the way to $14. I remember people messaging me saying, "Man, I'm taking profits. I'm doing this and doing that." So at 50 cents right now, 67% down from the recent highs, and of course, all-time high, sorry, 96% for this one. $14, man. That was 18th of April, got to 22 cents. Prior to that, we did really well. From an entry, I think it was around 120, 110, something like that. And we rode that to a clean, clean 10x plus. Could it come back? I mean, it really depends on a few factors here. Crypto, people don't have a lot of memory in crypto. And I do believe the project from day one was just way too good. You know, it was one of the best calls I've made last year. And they are, of course, I do like to see a bit more tweeting. July 11th, what's going on? Let's see. I need more activity, May 26th. That's infrequent for me. Guys, if anyone is here from projects, let me give you an advice. We scrutinize how often you tweet, and crypto markets are open 24/7. So all of these lazy founders and marketing teams, you could do yourself massive help by just getting somebody to sit there or automate whatever you want to do. Just get on with it, because I do believe 7th of July, there's gaps here. 10th of July, that's 3 days. Okay, 11th. And then they reposted something on the 16th. So I would like to see more activity, of course. Crypto is all about mind share. You can use the likes of Cato right now to engage and check mind share. So if they continue to build and advertise and market and really grind, they know that, you know, projects are no different from us. Any one of us can create a smart contract under 2 seconds, but there's a lot more to the game. What's going on, Tom? I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Mr. Flynn right there. Aerodrome. We've been in Aerodrome now for donkeys, man. I think base is looking good. Yesterday, Toshi was the first out of the gates. I think Aerodrome will do well. Of course, depending on when you got into it. Currently sitting way under the threshold of $1. But I do see if we get a slight correction, I think it'd be a good place to add. But our bags are really, really packed. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar project, in my opinion. And the TVL should be way bigger than this. There's no way Morpho, well, technically there is, because that's a DeFi project, but I think Aerodrome's TVL should be way bigger. Once it hits about $1 billion, I think you will see crazy stuff. Now, the staking emissions are always a concern for people. And with Aerodrome, you're probably looking at $7 to $10. So a relatively good 10x. Some people are calling it to be $20 or whatever, but that's just, you know, I don't want to be around for those days. Very good volume, as you would expect. Of course, central liquidity hub for the base ecosystem. What are your top tier narratives for this cycle? And what narratives do you think are underrated? Well, the first one is gaming is underrated. Okay, so as far as the most underrated narrative would be in order of the most underrated, I think it would be gaming. Number 2 for me would be deepin. I think deepin specifically, not just AI, just the deep. We haven't seen any form of a sustained deepin friggin' run. It piggybacks off AI and whatever. But if deepin, we're led to believe these are, you know, look at Peak, look at Aether, look at, I've shared one the other day called Node. That may have a good chance of doing really, really well because of the fact that it's optimizing nodes with tech. So in my opinion, gaming and deepin are the obvious ones. And of course, the most bullish ones are memes, number 1. Believe it or not, it's easy to understand. It's easily, I do believe memes are going to transition bear markets. There will be a time where people are constantly going, going into meme coins during the bear market, but AI is going to be the top one from fundamental. So meme coins, AI or meme coins and layer ones, that's going to be now AI, of course, AI agents and all of that comes under that. So yeah, guys, we haven't got any likes at all, man. That button is free. The last time I checked, that button cost nothing. I've been here 1 hour, 29 minutes, delivering very good value for absolutely nothing except likes. So if you could like the friggin' stream, I would appreciate you, because I sit here doing 90% of my research for the community. It's been a while, brother. Yes. DCA and error nonstop. Yes, you are under $1. I would say probably even under 80 cents. Your average is going to look amazing. Now, this is a superstar lineup. Aero, Ondo, Render, Cetus. Absolutely, Tom. You've basically got Ronaldo, Messi, the real Ronaldo R9, and of course, Neymar. That's a 4-4-2 formation with 4 strikers. Abdel, what's up, brother? Long time I joined the live. Holiday in Spain is making me lazy. No. Trust me, I know the holiday feeling, man. Whenever you're in holiday, take your break. Well deserved. Honestly, I was out to London, and first week I was incredibly active. Make sure I did the work, and then the following 2 weeks I just went dark. Time to do a bit of detox and yeah, enjoy your holiday. Don't look at it as a lazy moment. Honestly, it's well deserved. Yeah, I regret buying Prime at $8, but gaming is good. Trust me, Prime should come back. Now, the team have kind of screwed up because they launched 2 tokens. I do believe they have another token that's not really bringing any value to the ecosystem. But again, you know, it's you know, Echelon Prime, when ETH starts moving, or we get into gaming season, or base just collectively does really well. I looked at the numbers the other day. It's not bringing in a lot of volume on Coinbase. That's where my main concern is with Prime, because you need to have significant, you know, you need to have some volume on the actual Coinbase exchange in order for them to keep and not delist. But I believe they're back as an investor, so that should be fine. And by the way, it's only like the UK is only what, 6 hours away from Dubai. But man, I was jet lagged this week. Could never sleep. And tomorrow morning, my little one has a gymnastics class, so I'm going to be running into that as well. So guys, before I go, for those of you who are fanatics about music, and who love a bit of music, of course, you need to go and check out this album. And we go from crypto to an album. But yo, this has been absolutely insane. If you haven't listened to this, you don't have good music to help you deal with the stresses of crypto, man. Yeah, let me know. I mean, if there are any music fans. By the way, this is Clips's website, not mine. No links at all. But yeah, guys, for those of you asking me what my top convictions are, you know, I always share that with you anyway, regardless. And the reason I share it is because, not only because sharing is caring, but there's people that think you don't flip-flop on your core holdings. What you flip-flop on is those things that you don't believe in. Now, of course, I have updated things on here, but it's good to have a list like this. It's good to have, just write down layer ones, write down AI, gaming, RWA. I know it sounds stupid, but most people don't get this. DeFi, meme, and then of course you see where you are with your projects. It's a really, really good exercise. I could not recommend to each one of you on this live stream to have a mental game when it comes to what you're buying, guys. It's really, really, like, it'd be incredibly stupid and naive for you not to have that. Because, you know, over here, we're trying to help people to make money. What Anon, man? Which one? I have. Which one is it? You tell me. Anon X chain. I'll look at that for you, brother. No problem at all. So Broski, my brother Diamond said, what are your top 5 in terms of your so if you look, you know, it's very easy, you know. So top 5, of course, you know, Diamond, for example, we've been thank you, brother. I'll check that for you now. Do your own rugs. What a legend. So you guys know Casper. Now, Casper is by default the largest holding from a dollar value because I've been in that thing since 23, 22, late 22, 23, early 23, right? So it has a significant dollar value in my portfolio. So convinced, right? Then you got Sui as probably the second largest in terms of the dollar value, but Sui we've got in very, very good. And then I've got, for example, in that kind of layer ones, I have Arweave, which is actually bigger than my Say holding. And then, of course, you've got the smaller ones. I mean, these can rotate, so there's no conviction there to either have or not. By the way, Maud should be booked in with us for an AMA from Alephium on the 19th of August. Then we've got conviction for AI. Now, 100%, if you told me just buy one AI token all the time, regardless of market cap, I would buy Tau. I've been buying Tau, and I always said Tau, unfortunately, wanted more, but of course, it has a psychological dollar value. Now, of course, AO, the computer in AI is the next one by size. Then I've got a bit of Cookie DAO, AI tech, and I've got a bit of SocialFi there as well. That's a different narrative altogether. And then, of course, with that, there's also a few deep in projects in there. Now, gaming, the one that I've been stacking the most is Beam, because I wanted a safe play that can do decent numbers. And of course, after Beam, we've got Prime, Moontropica, a bit of Carrot, Marvia. I wanted to add Bloodloop because it's at 400K. I wanted to add a bit more Shrapnel. I do hold those type of cryptos, but not to a significant dollar value. And then RWA, of course, Ondo, Axelar is like a jack of all trades. That should be a good one, by the way, because it powers, I believe, over 80 different chains, including XRP and Sui. Then I got a little bit of Pinlink because we got into this early. Then props, I think, will do well. And then maybe let's go with BKN. A big shout out to my brother over there in the Crypto G. Big up Crypto G because he has real alpha on these. Of course, Peak should be in the layer one section. But I'm going to add Peak in terms of, let's say, here. So kind of like the small to mid cap layer ones. Then meme coins are very easy for me because you got Cocoro, Lofi, Toshi. Foxy's been moving a little bit. Of course, Avalanche is going to do really well. And in terms of Avalanche in DeFi, we should add Black here. We should add Black. Now, the thing about Black is, of course, it's of course, I saw if anyone, I mean, I missed it. I was on holiday when it was being pushed, but I did watch back the founder of Avalanche sitting with, what's his name? The guy, Elio Trades. So Black is a good one to look at. And then, of course, meme coins are very, very... So that core has not changed. What's really changed is, I mean, if you want 5 out of this, I would say Sui. I would say Tau. That's 2. I would say Beam. That's 3. I would probably say Axelar here, 4. And if I had to choose one of all of these, I think by value it'd be Aero. And then, of course, you can take your pick from the meme coins. So that's about 5. And then, of course, you've got the supporting cast or the other projects that sprinkle around that. Okay, to my broski. Hey, Anon. Hey, Anon. Very good shout. Did we talk about Peak? No, we'll talk about Peak now because we should get some kind of deep in season. So let's have a look at Hey Adon. I think we looked at this last time as well. This is built on Sonic. It's a good shout, by the way. I haven't simplified finance. So DeFi AI, is it built on Sonic? I think it's built on Sonic. All right, so how do we got a placeholder website. Let's go back over here. Boom, boom, boom. Have a look at the Gecko terminal. Say boom, boom, boom. So it's up nicely. 24 hours net buy, net sell 2K. Okay, that's nothing crazy. Look, with DeFi projects, sometimes you've got to be okay. So what we have here is a chart that topped 28. Wow. So right now the price here is $2. The supply is it must be tiny, like 13 million out of 21 million. But what I really want to see, yeah, it's on Sonic. Pretty good. I think for the market cap, the tokenomics are decent. Let me just give them a follow. Because what it is, here's what happens, right? So, for example, Diamond was asking for top 5 convictions. And I do believe things like this are a trade as opposed to a long-term conviction. And now let me tell you why. It's something that I could trade, followed by number 1 meme coin on the Sonic ecosystem, which is goggles. And there will be a Sonic season. That's what the whales do. The whales run this thing. So DeFi AI, I think I would love to test out what their technology is. And but it does, from a market cap, from a chain perspective, it does look, the chart looks bottom, and it does look like something that we can do like 5x very quickly and then switch over. But for long-term conviction, I don't think so. Cato Season 3 in progress, download HUD. So probably I have to kind of say, from a chart perspective, yes, the chart looks good. I haven't checked the exchanges, and I do believe these exchanges are Gate, Mexi, Wagme, Shadow, and Aerodrome. So it's multi-chain as well, which is good. So good call. Yeah, so Peak, it's annoying because CryptoRank have actually started charging for their vesting schedule, but let's take a look at Peak again. Now, below the price we got in for the early for the early rounds. However, as a layer 1, what everybody should know is Peak is building an ecosystem. The Peak network ecosystem. Right now, the inflation is pretty unsustainable. But I do believe if they get like a Binance listing, they should do like a quick pump for the investors, because I know too many people are extremely unhappy with Peak and Gunzilla due to the vesting, many things. But Peak ecosystem is going to be a real thing. Peak is a real layer 1. Now, if you look at this, first there's a project. Of course, there's other projects built on the Peak network, but this is already out. Silencio is the name of the project. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So Peak will have a growing TVL. Right now, I think the daily unlocks are 3 million or something ridiculous in August. Measure noise levels. So this is the first official crypto project that comes under the Peak network. What's happening? Are we still here? Let's have a look, guys. Do let me know if I'm still here. Share screen. Silencio. Sounds like a Spanish Colombian striker. Silence, noise reduction. So this is a project that is built on Peak. And you can see here, it is a measure of noise levels, get rewards, and you're looking at something that is a transforming data into impact. So this is what Peak is going to be doing. But I do believe it hasn't really woken up yet. So for example, this is a $3 million crypto project that comes under the Peak network. So the more of these projects that come on this layer one, what do you think the whales are going to do? The whales are going to say, hey, look, there's a good layer one here. It's on blah, blah, blah. And you can buy it on, let's see what, Mexi, Gate, Aerodrome. It's multi-chain as well. So just giving you an example of the types of things that will be coming onto ETH. And this is actually also built on Base as well. Sorry, on Peak, not ETH. So let's give them a follow anyway. Let's see, software company. So they're a US-based company built on Peak at $3 million market cap. And of course, you know, it's live on Base as well. So yeah, what do I think about Peak? It is definitely something to continue to monitor, and it is something that is going to have a growing ecosystem cycle. There will be a pump, but I think we have to get out at those irrational levels and then enter this one back in the next bear market. Danny said, what happened to ZF? ZF is very small, very tiny, and I don't think Monad has dropped at the moment. Jeremy said, Millie on the Say ecosystem. So if you go to our Discord, Jeremy, or even, so we had Sayan. So I did an article about the entire Say meme coins, ecosystem meme coins. So I do believe Millie is absolutely primed along with Sayan. I looked at it last about, when did I look at Millie? It is the, I think this is it. It's a decent meme coin on so it absolutely run from 15th of June to where it topped. $3 million market cap. Is it on Mexi? I do believe they've listed this on Mexi at some point. Yeah, it's there. Mexi by economy. So I think Millie is fine. Millie is fine. Yes, Heroes of Mafia. I think that will do well. Look, a lot of us do play mobile games on our phones. I have about 7 or 8 mobile games. They're non-crypto games, but I do believe the market makers for this one will give it a good pump. StateX looks very, very good. Low cap, decent listings on Kraken. Yeah, it's super. I believe Crypto G talked about it. And Jeremy also Dolomite, Dolo. Let's have a look at Dolo. Yeah, StateX I think is gonna do well in an RWA season. Let's have a look at these other ones. Dolo, is it 2 L's? Dolomite. Liquidity. Probably hasn't got a listing yet, but I will do check up on our DEX. James said, got into 100x, got in 10K, went to 1.5, retraced, pumped 10 milli to 100 milli. Meme. Ranging down the shit market. Yep, true. Yo, Bafana. Big up to all my brothers and sisters from South Africa. And definitely a legend here in Mahindra. My brother there from KSA, Cape Town. I think, no, you're not in Cape Town. You're in Joburg, yes. Strongest community in the game. Hit the likes, man. They too greedy with the likes, bro. They think they're paying me money by not hitting the like button. Is there any say dexes worth buying? I don't think so, brother. That's why I bought it. Just looking to see if it's good. Thank you. Jeremy said, yes, brother. Say dexes. No, I have to refresh my memory. I did publish a list of say projects, but that's a very good shout. But I wouldn't specifically, unless, you know, they had, you know, because Aerodrome is different, right? And some of the SUI ones. But apart from that, I wouldn't really go mental on it. All right, guys, this is a 2-hour live stream. I think we've put the work in. Up the Arsenal. I am out. My daughter has gymnastics. And it's going to be Craig David scenes tomorrow, man. 6 o'clock in the morning. Wipe the tears from my eyes. Yo, all the people that have a kid will know the pain. They will know the pain, man. I've got to do, what time is it now? 2:45. So I'm going to love you and leave you guys. But let me know, guys, if we're going to do another live stream tomorrow, because I'd love to. Next 2 weeks is going to be important for the community. Don't know what category. SXT. It's another one of those new interesting projects. Heavy backing. Appreciate that, brother. I'll take a note. Let's do another live stream tomorrow. And yeah, and we can vibe to that as well. But thank you so much. Much love. Guys, this community is almost free. There's nothing that needs to be done except to hit that like button. You legends. Another great show. Much appreciated. That's all I want, man. Thank you, brothers. And we are going to make money together. David and the rest of the crew, Loki, Jeremy, Diamond, Pygos, Cave, too many to give a shout out to. But what we're building in this community, guys, is I'm doing research and sharing that with you. What you do is up to you, but please don't be emotional. Make sure you look at the macro. Come into our community as well. By the way, it's almost free, right? I employ some people in developing nations, and that's where the small $9 a month that we charge Discord members goes to the likes of Jerry and some of our research teams and other people that need the money. So join us. Let's build together. Keep your emotions away. Don't tell anyone about your crypto holdings. Do not talk about I recommend you buy Lambo, even if you've got hundreds of millions in crypto. Doesn't even make sense. Go get yourself something nice. Invest the money into assets or businesses that generate more money for you, because we're going to need more money in the next bear market, because we're going to do a crazy damage. I've already got a list of cryptocurrencies, or what I call the bear market hit list, that we're going to be buying back next bear market, guys. You come back with 10, 100 G's in stable coins, you're going to be generationally free. So don't treat this as this. If you're working 9 to 5, this is your second most important job. If you are financially free and you are here because you already invest, then I think you are just going to continue to do crazy numbers. But what's important for 99% of us is alt season is tied into this, right? Alt season is tied into the ability for us to kind of read the picture. And once you start learning how to read the picture, you are going to be such a great investor. You are going to be, regardless of your altcoin, this is the shit we deal with. And once you start understanding, okay, you know, I'm in a quantitative tightening environment, They're not going to print money right now, but there's all this data that comes out. Okay, therefore altcoins are cheap. They're not scams unless you're buying just a madness, right? If you're buying, anchor your portfolio with good, solid cryptos. Take the emotion away. $500 this week. I'm going to go and drop it into this coin. I've got $1,000 next week. Yeah, I'll spread it between. You know, you have to just steady eddies win the race, right? Slow and steady, guys. So alt season is going to be super fast. It's going to come and go at a blink of an eye. Kobe always says job's not done. It's true. That is a beautiful, beautiful way to look at this. And of course, you're so right about this. You know, it will last few weeks of your life where you can't go to sleep. Some of you will be calling in sick, telling the boss, "Oh, boss, man's got flu. You know, I can't come in. I've got diarrhea." And then you're sitting in your room selling your altcoins. Trust me, make a note of that. When you make that mad money, don't say I'm going to bed because I got work tomorrow. Sell your crypto. Stay up. You know, just to tell you, I have a very, very great friend of mine who's a big time whale. You know, he lives, you know, we live in the same place, city. And I remember when Blaze happened, the night we were sitting together, man, we were having a nice shisha. We were like, yo, let me see that Blaze bag you got there. He was holding nearly $500,000 of Blaze. I was like, oh man, you should sell some. And he was like, nah. He was like, nah, you know, I'll just take a shower, go to bed tonight. And, you know, brother, the next morning we woke up. First thing we did was he called me. He was like, you seen Blaze? I'm like, what? So I went over there and I looked at, and I was like, fuck, man. 500K became 7K overnight. So that's why it's important, man. You know, like what the stuff you're saying here, bro. You know, this is absolute facts. You know, this is absolute facts, bro. Do your own rock said finger licking stream? Nah, finger licking. I might get in trouble for that, bro. I think that belongs to crypto gains. 2017 was mad. Absolutely, bro. You wake up and it could be down 30-50% and even more, and then you start kicking yourself, man. And you think, because nothing is realized until you push that button, right? Like nothing is realized, you know. And once you do it, please do not regret anything. Sell it and say to yourself, that's me realized now. Because a lot of our gains are digital, unrealized. They don't mean absolute stack, you know, paper millionaire. You know? So yeah, guys, that's a beautiful, I'm going to leave you with, along with the finger licking, I think this is, you know, job's not done. That is a great quote, guys. God bless you. Good night. And let's lock in another live stream tomorrow. And we see each other, bro. Oh, my brother's coming in right now. Blockchain God, my brother. Good to see you. Yo, should we do? I haven't got Ray Charles. Yeah, big large caps exchanges are absolutely, bro, 100%. And of course, I haven't got my shades with me, but I would have left you with Ray Charles. Where the shades at? Anyway, love you loads, guys. Let's reconnect tomorrow, my brothers, and much love to you all. Please get to at least hit a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.